Hello and welcome to this weather topic. In this weather topic video, we are going to be looking at the Fujiwhara effect. This is going to be a little bit of a quick one here. So, what exactly is the Fujiwhara effect? Well, first off, it's named after Sakuhei Fujiwhara, a Japanese meteorologist, and is the interaction between two distinct low pressure regions or low pressure systems. You most commonly will see this with tropical systems. However, low pressures, so non-tropical systems, can interact in this way as well. Between just low pressure systems, it usually engages when the pressure regions get within 2,000 kilometers, that is 1,200 miles, of each other, and is actually a shorter distance because they're a little bit more condensed with tropical storms. That means tropical storms of any kind: cyclones, very intense cyclonic storms, hurricanes, the like. They usually engage within around 1,400 kilometers or 870 miles between each other. An example of low pressures interacting are these two low pressures from the April 2011 super tornado outbreak. This is at the very end here. So you have this one low right here. This other one sweeps up across Illinois. And you see them right around the middle of the Great Lakes start to interact with each other. This is going to play again here. We see that giant line of storms that happened. And then watch this low pressure come up into Illinois, and then right around that time, right around as it enters Wisconsin and Michigan, we see that it starts to interact with this other one that has been sitting here around Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Now looking at tropical storms, in the on the right, we have an example from 1964 with typhoons Kathy and Marie. In this image, this is Typhoon Kathy's track. What happened is that this loop was caused by the interaction with Typhoon Mary, and Mary would eventually end up merging with Kathy. We have this bundle of dots here that's actually a second smaller loop, presumably, I would assume, as it is merging with Kathy, and then Kathy moves on its long way. Then down here at the bottom, we have Odette and Seroja in 2021. We see them interacting with each other, almost doing a complete 180 with their positions. And again, this is just a little bit, as far as I know, I'll say, it does seem to be more common with tropical storms. Now, the effects of the Fujiwhara effect are very interesting. Both, if they get close enough to each other, both storms will weaken. They will also most likely start to increase in speed as their rotations are affecting each other, almost like a gravity slingshot that you may have heard of that satellites use. So them, circling around each other is going to cause them to speed up ever so slightly or majorly, again, depending on how close they get. And it may cause merging. So one circulation dies out or just weakens to a point where it cannot be sustained and then is incorporated into the now more dominant circulation. None of these effects are necessarily guaranteed, even though I say will cause both systems to weaken. This is not exactly the case 100% of the time. And it always varies depending on how strong the systems are, how far apart they are from each other, how fast each system is moving, as well as a bunch of other circumstances. But that is a short look at the Fujiwhara effect. A very interesting effect that is actually not a thing that high pressure systems do due to the fact that high pressures and low pressures move air differently. Low pressures move air inwards from the top of the atmosphere and then spreads it out at the surface, and high pressures do the opposite. This causes high pressures to not exactly cause Fujiwhara effect on another high pressure, as far as I know. High pressures are also much larger, so I don't think that they'd be able to get close enough to cause one in the first place, if one is strong enough, of course. Again, that is a look at the Fujiwhara effect, folks. A quite short one, but nonetheless, I hope you all learned something. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.